All right. Seton, what's the poll question for the first hour of the program?
I got a couple options here for you. Winning team that should be worried.
Worried?
Yes. Rams, Bears, Bills, 49ers, Patriots. 49ers should probably be worried.
I don't think they're at a point where they worry. Like the Rams, if you're supposed to win, the Niners are 7-point underdogs. So I don't know if they would worry. Yeah, that one's tricky. Yeah, Paulie.
As a Bears fan, I'm perpetually worried. You go into the game completely worried and nervous because you know your team probably isn't going to do much in the second half, and you're going to have to steal it. So you go in worried, no matter who you're facing.
Yeah, I just don't see the Niners worried because I don't think they're supposed to be here.
And they just took a pretty big hit with losing Kittle.
Oh, yeah.
So their chances of advancing to, the next game after this one took a massive hit.
Yeah, Todd.
I think the Rams have some angst because everyone was so high on them. They still are some that they're the best team. This guy's going to get the MVP. And now that they barely just got past the Panthers, that's a little scary seeing what the Bears just did with that comeback against Green Bay.
Well, I think if you look, and I'm just going off memory, most of your teams that win a Super Bowl have one of those games. One of those games where it kind of hangs in the balance. And that might be the game for the Rams. That was a game they could have lost.
Can probably say the same thing for the Bills, too, actually.
Yeah.
That might have been, I don't know if wake-up call is the right.
But Jacksonville they were favored by 1.5, then Jacksonville was favored by 1.5. The Rams were favored by 10.5.
Yeah.
That's the difference. That's where you're like nervous.
Yeah.
Now you face the Bears, and I have no idea, what Bears team you're going to face, at least in the first three quarters, or if the Rams defensively look a little bit better than they did with Carolina. But, man, give Carolina a lot of credit. Even Jacksonville with the season that they had. And you had the ball and you had a chance. And I think you can come away from that saying, we should have won that game. But, man, they have Josh Allen. Here is the game-winning touchdown by Josh Allen.
Here's the snap. There's the surge, and I think they largely let him score on purpose. There was not much impedance there as Josh Allen is in for the 1-yard touchdown run to give the Bills the lead with 1:02 left in the game.
I didn't think the Buffalo Bills liked the tush push. They voted against it. They didn't want the tush push in football, and then all of a sudden the tush push pushes them to the next round. But, yeah, Jacksonville let them score so they'd have a little bit of time there. And I think going into next season, we'll look at Jacksonville differently than we have before. And it's been a long time since we looked at them. That's why when Jacksonville fans, they would, email the show, that I didn't believe. No, I didn't believe because they didn't give me a reason to believe before. And I said, look, you got to force us to believe. That, and they played great. The second half of the season, played great and should be very proud of what they did. And they should have won the game. You're at home. You should win those games. But it's weird how it comes down quarterback play to get a big moment. And you had that. Some of these, Matthew Stafford, big moment. Caleb Williams, big moment. Josh Allen, big moment. Now, Drake May didn't need big moments. He's going to need them. He didn't look that good, but that defense looked great. And the Chargers' offensive line, I know it's banged up, but so is Justin Herbert as a result. Man. And you saw all these great games. And Paulie made the analogy. It's like having this great meal and then dessert is just okay. So you had all of this great meal of all these other games. And then dessert was the Patriots against the Chargers, and, the tiramisu was burnt. But everything else was pretty good. Yeah, Paulie.
The Patriots hit the Chargers quarterback 11 times. You mentioned how Super Bowl teams sometimes have hiccups. I just went back and picked a random Super Bowl team. The 0-1 Patriots, the first year with Bledsoe and Brady. They had 3 playoff games. They were down at halftime in all 3 playoff games.
Yeah. It happens, and then we always talk about a wake-up call, and it'll happen to somebody this next week as well.